Okay. This video is so far delayed. It was my fault, and I'll explain to you why. Yo, what up here? How you doing, guys? My name is Sangiev. Today we are back with another video where, as you can see from the title, we're going to be taking a look at and also sort of having a discussion on the whole Louis Vuitton and Nigo collaboration. I picked up just one item from said collection, and one that I was super fortunate to get my hands on, but you know, I thought we would share the experience, talk about it, get your thoughts on it, and then see if we can come up with a conclusive answer as to whether or not this collection is a cop or drop, if you want. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use it. I don't know if I'm going to be using that title, but it's going to be something along those lines. And as you can see, we've got the big ass orange box that says Louis Vuitton right here. Quickly, little backstory. Collection was meant to be released, I want to say 3, maybe 4 months ago. They took their sweet time with their deliveries, like very sweet time. Obviously, the collection was initially released in Japan first, and then it's made its way to America and to Europe. In fact, actually, let me just reverse back a tiny bit and talk about the collection itself. It was a collaborative effort. Okay, you must have, just by the way that I pulled it out, you probably know what it is. It was a collaborative effort between the designer Nigo, who is famous for being somewhat of a streetwear OG in the game. Definitely put the Japanese streetwear scene on the map, I think is a fair statement to make. Creative director at one point anyway of Billionaire Boys Club, Bape, and currently Human Made. Sick dude. You sort of knew as soon as it was announced that the collaboration between Nigo and Virgil would be absolutely incredible. Personally, I found that the apparel was great. The denim sets I think are awesome. The tailoring has definitely grown on me. I just did not like the way that it was styled on the models and showcased in the lookbooks, but when I saw the pieces themselves, and I think I saw an editorial, that suit grew on me, and I was kind of gutted that I didn't bite the bullet. At the same time, it's an extremely loud, you know, very in-your-face pattern, so I don't know if it's something that I would have actually perhaps even worn. Anyway, love it. Now, personally, the thing that I gravitated more so towards in this collection were the accessories, bags in particular. I thought it was a perfect blend of both worlds. You had the Louis Vuitton world, which is obviously very iconic just because of the use of the silhouettes that they use in the bags, but also the patterns and all that other jazz. And then you were able to get Nigo's world as well, where he tapped into some of his archive, if you wish, where he was able to pull inspiration from the stuff that he did with BBC, the stuff that he did with Human Made currently. So the piece that I went towards, well, the two pieces, my two favorite pieces, were the mini tote bags, which I'll leave right here on the screen. I think it's such a cool, unique shape, and the key pull. Now, this is where I struggle personally with this piece. The key pull, the LV key pull, is obviously somewhat of an iconic piece, and it's a piece that I've always sort of, you know, growing up from very little, you see these pieces and, you know, they signify something to you, which is a very bad way of looking at things, but it is what it is. Like, we all do it. And to me, I was always like, one day I'm going to own an LV key pull. And now I'm in a very fortunate enough position to be able to do so, but it's like, is it me? Or am I still trying to live that 14-year-old kid's, I wasn't even 14, I didn't care back then, but like say 16, 17-year-old kid's dream to be able to flex with an LV bag. And so I'm still heavily debating on whether or not to keep this piece. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm actually going to give you the pros and cons, because there's definitely some cons which I'm pissed about. But it is a beautiful bag. It is extremely well made, to be expected from Louis Vuitton as well. But here we have the item right here. Now I'm going to give you guys some B-roll, so you'll be able to get a better look at it. First of all, right off the bat, this is the key pull 50, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I think key pulls go up to 60, right? And you get them in 55, 50, 45, 40. Do they go down to 35? I'm not sure. I think 40 is the smallest. So this is like a in-between size. This is a perfect sort of weekend getaway. You could probably stash a bit more than a weekend, but you know, one pair of shoes, 3-4 outfits, and you'll be good to go. It's a beautiful bag with some black handles. Now, much like other LV bags, this isn't actually made out of leather, but rather canvas, which I know it comes as a surprise to some. Most LV owners are well aware of that. Yes, you're dropping a lot of money, and it is a bit crazy that it's not leather, but at the end of the day, you're dropping a lot of money because of the name and because of the pattern. Now, obviously, the thing that that spoke to me, if you wish, in this piece is the drip motif that can be found on one side. Let me emphasize that. The drip motif can only be found on one side. Now, I was given the BS excuse of, oh yeah, but that's just to signify what is the front and the back of the bag. Bullshit. I think it's so cheap of LV to just do that on one side. Don't get me wrong. I do understand, craftsmanship and whatever, and the fact that it probably took forever, but to just replicate this on the other side wouldn't have cost them that much extra. They would have been able to keep the retail slightly the same as it is now, if not bump it up a tiny bit. In fact, I would have happily paid a tiny bit more so that the drip was on both sides, because this looks great, this looks naff, at least in my opinion. And it's just like, bro, symmetry. Symmetry is what we want. Another thing that bugged me big time was the fact that the product itself is actually quite different to what you found or to what you saw when you initially placed the order. The lookbook images and the sort of editorial content that was released across all websites and wherever featured the bag in slightly different colors. Not so much the body itself, but the strap detailing, these little straps as well. They were a bit more of a tan as opposed to like an orange, and the handle was also a tan. Now, I know that some people prefer black handles because it doesn't get as dirty and it's a bit of a longevity thing, which I get, but it's like, bruh, if I'm paying for something and paying a rather hefty amount, dare I say, and then you give me something that's not what I paid for, you'd get angry. And you might be thinking, Sanj, you're moaning a lot about something that you paid for and that you're still showing. Why don't you just return it? And you know what? I did think about it. I don't know if I'd return it though, just because right now it's got a crazy flip. It's got somewhat of a resale potential. I believe, to my understanding anyway, don't quote me on this, but this is what I was told. There was only 10 made in the UK, or for the UK market, for the UK LV stores. So that makes it incredibly sought after. Retail was around 1.9k GBP. I don't know what that converts to in USD and in euros, but I'm assuming it's somewhere along those lines. It is a beautiful piece, The way that I see it is, and I say this a lot to you guys, so I'm just adding the shoulder strap, which I think makes the bag so much cooler. The reason why I sort of went for this piece is because the way that I see it, it has potential to be an archive piece. The first collaborative effort between Virgil and Nigo, you just know that 10, 20 years down the line, this is still going to be a bag that's like, oh shit, it's that bag right there. Much like all major big collaborative pieces between Louis Vuitton and designers, they go for crazy amount of money. Now, sometimes if you look at StockX, I can't remember what, is it Taka something? The wacky, insane artist. He's so cool. But he did a collaboration in LV, and I think the bags on StockX, obviously StockX charges ridiculous amounts sometimes, but the bags are fetching anywhere between 10 to 20k, which is absolutely outrageous. And so in my head, I'm thinking either like embrace it and just use it. And I know that probably in 5-10 years, I can still make most of my money back, if not more, once I flip it, or flip it now, make a quick buy, and then keep it moving. I think I'm going to be doing the former, just because despite all the moaning that I just gave, I actually really enjoy it. I think it's a well thought out bag, minus some execution details that could have been done better. I love this detailing right here. I also love the over exaggerated. Right, some of these LV heads are going to come across this video and think, like, this guy does not know what the fuck he's talking about. The over-exaggerated, is this called a damier? I think it's called a damier. The over-exaggerated damier print. It's a beautiful bag. It could have been done better, especially considering you're paying nearly 2k for it. Okay, the more I see it, the more it grows on me. Especially with the shoulder strap. I fucks with it, man. Yeah, there is a tiny part where it's just like the little kid in me that wanted a piece from LV to finally tell me that I've made it in life. But that is that. This was a bit of a ramble / discussion. I don't even, is it a pickup? I don't know. Let me know what you thought of the LV Nigo collaboration. Did you manage to pick up any pieces? If you wish to follow me on my social media, it's all right here in this corner. Sangiev, that is for my Twitter, Instagram, Grailed, and pretty much anywhere else that you may be able to find on social media platforms. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, share, subscribe, do all that other jazz because it helps me out tremendously. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Peace.